Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. We just finished taking our final break of the night, and at this time we're going to get into our rant and into our closings, and we're going to start with our brother Jay Grizzly Green. It's time for you to close it out, brother.
Thank you, Marcus J. I appreciate it always. Feels like coming home, chilling in the Den here at Legacy Internet Radio. Yeah, coming home. Just to piggyback on some of the things we talked about tonight, please pay attention to what they're doing with public schools these days. They're trying to close down these public schools in Richmond, Virginia, most of the inner cities. I listed some of them earlier. Detroit, another inner city school district that's having problems because of the tax base being usurped or gone, for lack of a better word. So pay attention to what's going on out here. We got to educate these kids. We are already behind the 8 ball when we're going up against Asian countries, the subcontinent in India, and they're already bringing in people that will take your job one day if you have some type of skills to be able to make a living for you and your family. So make sure your kids out there, parents, you are an integral part of your kids' education. Stress to them that the world is more than where they're at right now. Let them know that, by the time they get old, we might have a man on Mars, and they could be that person. So, that's what I want to say about that. Second thing I want to talk about in regards to, what was the room called? The Champagne? The Champagne Room. I mean, I like that segment, though, Mr. 3375. The Champagne Room, some of the things we talked about there, we want to be able to protect our communities. Ain't no snitching, what they call it, no snitching get stitches, right, and stuff like that. With that mentality, y'all, the hood is always going to be the hood, and it's going to be hard to get people that want to raise their families back in the hood so we can have our own communities. That's why we just be out there dispersed like that. So I'm not saying go out there and be looking. They got neighborhood watches and stuff like that, but what I'm saying is that we want to have pretty much the basic decent of every human being. Everybody wants to live in peace. Everybody wants to live in a good neighborhood. Everybody wants their kids to get a good education, and everybody wants to have a decent job that can take care of their family and send their kids off to college and have a better life for themselves. I'm Jay Grizzly. I appreciate y'all having me here at Legacy Internet Radio, and there ain't no half step, and look forward to coming back. Peace.
Ain't no half step with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. Hakeem says that me and you, Grizz, we need to join him. Socialists, anarchists, and communists.
I'm none of the three. I'm more of a centrist.
I might just be all of them. So Hakeem, you might be onto some. It's time to continue in the Champagne Room, and what we do when we in there, we sip on some Pim juice. It's 3375. What you got, man?
I just want to say, man, as parents, man, we just need to, pay more attention to our kids, man. Like, the last segment was a hard segment to get through for me, which the panel right here doesn't know, because I got a text message, that she was roaming through, a friend of mine was roaming through her kid's stuff, and her kid was planning out her own death. She was planning to kill herself. You know what I'm saying? So that whole, not snooping through your kid's stuff, snoop through your kid's stuff, man, and you find out what's really going on, because if she didn't, her kid could have went down the wrong road tonight or tomorrow night or whatever. And then she just also found out that her daughter is a cutter by her just finding that letter. This is tonight. This is tonight during that last segment. That's why I was doing a lot of texting. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, pay attention to your kids, man. Stop letting the TV and all of that raise your kids, man. Raise your kids right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. It's time for our big sis and yours to let us know why she is, in fact, a grown woman.
Give me a little bit.
You got it. There you go. Yay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right.
So it's Monday. It's been a long day, y'all. It's really been a long day, and this is gonna be one of them days that I don't think I'm gonna get out of until I fall asleep and wake up on Tuesday. But it's always good to be amongst my brothers, my handsome men sitting up in here. I know y'all wish y'all was me because I got 3 of them right now, but it's all good. Hi, Hakeem. How are you? And stop causing trouble. All right, that little last thing for you and Marcus and Grizzy, stop causing trouble. No. So, y'all just know that I'm working on part 2 of my television show trivia. Because I think I had a little bit of fun with it, even though Marcus didn't get that it was Grandmaster B, and he was mad. But so, I'm working on part 2. And really, this part 2 is going to prove if you really watched it or not, because I dug deep with the questions. So until then, good night.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Thanking everybody for being a part of tonight's discussion. Got a whole lot of thank yous that I need to make sure that I get to tonight. First, special thank you to our sister who joined us in the first segment, our sister Takara Rashida Felix, who is running for Miss U.S. Virgin Islands. We appreciate her being here. I will put her social media, her information from social media out. She is looking to see if folks can assist her in her trek down to Daytona, Florida for her running of Miss U.S. Virgin Islands. So we support her. We love her. So we hope that you guys would support her as we will. She is also the founder and director of Spice Rack. If you remember from my rant and closing last week, I had mentioned that I was on a diversity panel a while ago, 2 weeks ago or so. It was sponsored by Spice Rack. And so our sister Cara Rashida Felix was the person that had asked me to be a part of that. So I certainly wanted to make sure that I returned the favor by having her join us here in the studio of Legacy Internet Radio tonight. I also want to give a special thank you to our sisters Tiffany, Jessica Lestar, Shantae, and a very special thank you to our sister Deshawn, who put me on to the makeover, which is going to be on Saturday, May 7th. Registration is 9:30 to 10. It's a free workshop session that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 2114 Dabney Road, right here in the Cap City in Richmond, Virginia, at the church. The church is called The Church. It's hosted by Women with Purpose. It is open to women ages 14 and up. It is an interactive workshop with the purpose of giving women the tools they need to be transformed into the fearfully and wonderfully made beings that they were always meant to be, regardless of their past. The workshop includes single ladies, Richmond, Virginia, Wives Pray, The Balancing Act for Single Mothers, The Modest Woman, I'm a Survivor of Domestic Violence, and much, much more. There will be on-site vendors, raffles, giveaways, and fun activities, so dress in comfortable attire. If you are interested in being there, please RSVP at themakeoverworkshop.eventbrite.com, themakeoverworkshop.eventbrite.com, or contact 804-484-0113 for more information. 804-484-0113 for more information. Special shout out to my brother Hakeem for always holding us down here on the show. He had his little lady daughter was with him tonight, so shout out to her. We appreciate 2 of you guys supporting us week after week after week here on Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J on Legacy Internet Radio. Special thank you to our sister Shayna, our clairvoyant medium, who checked in, was listening to us tonight. Michelle K was listening to us tonight. And a very, 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 very special thank you to my pop. My Pops J, was checking us out in Jersey tonight, was listening to the show. So much love to that brother, my father, my pop, and my brother. We appreciate him. Shout out to my brother, Mr. 3375, the utility player, for doing everything that we need him to do and more. Special thank you to our brother Jay Grizzy for being with us tonight, being part of the discussion. Whenever I call him, he's here, and I appreciate him for that. And of course, my big sis and yours, the co-host of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, our sister S.Y. Butler, of course, for being here. At this time of the show, always profile a missing and/or exploited child. Tonight is no different. We're looking for Sajada Caldwell. She's missing since March 27, 2016 from Norfolk, Virginia. She's a 13-year-old black female. She's got black hair, black eyes. She stands 5'2", and she weighs 115 pounds. If you have seen Sajada, please contact the Norfolk Police Department at 757-664-7070. She was last seen on March 27, 2016, and she may still be in the local area. So contact the National Center for Missing and/or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.com, or contact 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. At this time of the show, it's time for me to close it out with my rant. It's time for me to close it out with my closing. Of course, we will re-air the show in its entirety at the conclusion of the music once I can get it uploaded and back into you guys. One of the biggest things that we do here on the show is that we open up the floor and the platform for anybody who is doing anything to be a part of our discussion. We want to support you. We want you to support others. My radio mentor, Warren Ballantyne, always uses the phrase, "You push me and I will pull you." And I take that to heart. I take that serious because this is a partnership. This ain't about Marcus J. This ain't about Jay Grizzy. This ain't about Mr. 3375 or SY or anybody else that's a part of this. This is about us. It's about us as a group. It's about us as a community. It's about us supporting each other. You know, I had a meme that I put out on social media a little while ago that said that I wish that people would support me and others like me like they support the celebrities and famous people that they don't know. You know, and some folks might say that that's a little bit of sour grapes, and I accept that. It might just be a little bit of sour grapes, but the reality is, you know, everybody needs some support. And grassroots is what that's all about. And so think about that the next time that you want to run out and buy a pair of Air Jordans. Think about that the next time that you want to go buy a Kanye West t-shirt that costs $125, but it ain't nothing but a goddamn t-shirt. Think about that. Think about the struggling comic that you might go to and support in your local area. Or think about the struggling artist that you might want to support that's selling a mixtape. Or think about the internet talk show host who is basically trying his hardest to empower people and drop a few dimes or drop a little bit of knowledge on folks to make sure that people understand where we are and where we're going and where we've been. You know, support is a key thing. It's very important. And, you know, we did the show tonight to support our sister Takara Rashida Felix, and we did our show tonight to support Deshaun and Tiffany and Jessica and Lestar and Shantae of The Makeover, and we support our sister Jody Smith, and we supported our sister Lyric, and we'll support anybody who comes to Legacy Internet Radio and says, you know what, I need y'all, because that's what we do here. You know, when we have people come in the room, we always say, look, we huggers here, so give us a hug, because that's what we about. We about love, and we about making sure that everybody has an opportunity to fulfill their destiny and live their best life. And I think if you're not a part of that movement, then you're a part of the problem. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's my Marcus's unrelated rant that ain't have nothing to do with what we talked about tonight. As I mentioned before, we will run the show back in its entirety right after we can get it uploaded. Check out our website, www.legacyinternetradio, where you will find a special segment of all of our shows, including Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, and Live in the Radio, the Urban Serengeti, All Throttle Radio, Deep House Sessions with DJ Renee Melendez, and our newest show, Twa After Dark. And that's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Legacy Internet Radio is bringing something to you. So if you have any feedback, if you want to show us any support, hit our website. There's plenty of space on there where you can do just that. It's the end of the show. I want to remind everybody that independence is, in fact, the key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Be back here next week, y'all. Peace.